Hopefully by now you've watched the video over connective tissue. This video is just going to go into a little bit more detail of what connective tissue is made up of. So the three main things that connective tissue are made up of are cells, fibers, and a substance called ground substances. Now, fibers and ground substance, they make up what's known as the matrix, and I would like you to know that. So basic connective tissue is cells in a different matrix, and it's the matrix gives us all the different variety of connective tissue. And so on the cells are what we know, have the nucleus, mitochondria, etc. They do different things, and so depending on the type of connective tissue, you're going to see different types of cells. So some of the cells are going to make fiber, so we get fibroblasts. Some of the cells are going to make fat, so we get adipocytes. You're going to see some cells make cartilage, so chondrocytes, and some are going to make bone, which are like your osteoblasts and your osteocytes. So let's talk about some of these prefixes that we're seeing. And so the prefix is the beginning, and so fibro means fibers, adipo means fat, chondro means cartilage, and osteo means bone. So I would like you to know those prefixes. But let's talk about some of the suffixes that we're seeing. So this word, this ending of blast, so we're going to see chondroblast, osteoblast. You're going to see that word blast, or that ending of blast. And so I would like you to know the blast means an immature form of the cell. Now when I say immature, that doesn't mean like childish or anything like that, not in the biological sense. That just means a new cell that is still making the material. So we're going to see in our next unit, osteoblasts are building bone. So blasts, they're still, you know, you guys are basically starting your careers, so you're blasting out. I'm near the end, so I'm what we would call mature, so I'm a site. So when you see that prefix site here, so site, we can have osteocytes. So a site is basically a mature version of the cell. And that doesn't mean necessarily old, well, it kind of does, but it means it's kind of done its thing and it's just maintaining. So we're going to see osteocytes have already made bone matrix, and it will have just maintaining the matrix right beside it. It's not building large amounts of new bone. So blasts are going to be blasting and making lots. So connective tissue have cells. They have different forms of fibers. So some of the fibers that you see are collagen, which are really strong and flexible. Reticular, they're kind of like collagen, but they're much thinner and they branch out. And we're going to see elastic fibers, which kind of give them that pliability, able to bend with that elastin. And then the ground substance that's in there is a jelly-like substance of water and different types of solutes. So I would like you to know that cells, fiber, ground substance, the fiber and ground substance make up the matrix. And I'd like you to know the difference between the site and the blast. All right, those are the three main components of connective tissue. The next part of your notes just goes over the different types of membranes that we're going to be seeing. And the reason we talk about membranes right here when we're talking about tissue is because membranes are made up of either epithelial, thin sheets of epithelial tissue, which we're talking about, or we're going to see some with some connective tissue. And they usually are going to line our body cavities or cover our surfaces. And so the types we've got are mucous membranes, and we've got serous membranes that we have seen in Unit 1. We're about to head to skin, so that's going to be our cutaneous membrane. And then we're going to be looking at our joints, and we're going to see synovial membranes that are going to line basically our cavities where two bones are connecting. And so I would like you to know the four different types of membranes. Mucus, that we'll be secreting mucus that lines our respiratory tract, our digestive tract, etc. We saw the lining our body cavities with serous membranes. Our skin is going to be cutaneous, and we're going to be looking at synovial joints. And those are our different types of membranes. All right, see you on the next video.